Hello, my name is Alyssa and I'm a mom to two young boys. If you're looking for a channel that can motivate you to get up and get things done, then this is the channel for you. I hope you choose to stick around. I'm just going to open up these curtains and we're going to start cleaning today. I have been feeling a little bit stressed, and what always helps me with stress is just by tackling something. Today, I said that all I was going to do was change my sheets and flip the mattress around. We haven't done this in a hot minute, so it was definitely due. I could feel that the mattress itself was so used to where we slept that there's actual indents, and that's not healthy. You're actually supposed to switch your mattress around every 6 months at least, and I'm sure it's actually more than that. So here I'm just going to get those sheets started. I'm washing absolutely everything. We are going to be vacuuming the mattress as well. And once I got started, I just decided to keep going. So you're going to see I am doing a full deep clean of the master bedroom. I'm going to start with dusting. I noticed some cobwebs in the corners of my room, and so we are going to just start with the ceiling, move down to the curtains. We're going to do the blinds. We're really just giving everything a good dusting at this point. And then I actually will be moving the bed frame and the nightstands. This was not on my to-do list, but once I got started, I just decided it was time. I honestly don't know when I did this last. I'm pretty sure we've lived here for 2 years, and I have taken stuff out from under my bed to vacuum, but I have not moved the nightstands in about 2 years, so this was very much due. I hope you choose to stick around, whether you're getting up with me, putting me on the TV, or you're maybe sipping a coffee or a nice little drink while you're relaxing. I hope you get the motivation you need and you're enjoying your summer. Thank you for spending time with me.
I don't wanna stay here, no. Ain't gonna keep it low now. If you wanna go, let's go. Let's wrap it up and hit the road. I just got an awesome vibe, striking the winner post now. Liberty's on my mind. We've taken off, we've left the ground. You gotta understand that we get one chance, one chance.
My room usually doesn't get too messy because we really don't spend a lot of time in here. This is a room that we primarily just come into whenever we're going to go to bed. I would like to change that someday. One of the reasons I don't like spending time in here is it's very bright. All the walls in our entire house are a very bright white. And while I like how clean and simple it can look, it also means that in places like bedrooms, it can be a little bit less relaxing. So someday I would like to make this entire environment a little bit more cozy and, somewhere where I can relax, maybe with a fun little cozy chair in a corner with a blanket and maybe a TV in here someday. I'm not really sure, but that is a goal of mine one day. It's just the master bedroom is never really a priority, at least for us. I don't know if you guys are different, but I just feel like we slowly furnish and work on things in the rest of the house, and then the master bedroom is always the last thing on the list. Now that I got that mattress off, I actually snapped my fingers because I needed my husband's help. I just didn't want to hurt myself, so my husband came in here and we lifted it off the bed, and now I'm just giving everything a vacuum. Since I haven't done this for a couple of years, it had a layer of dust along every single surface. You can see the white along the edge of this box spring. Technically, this bed frame isn't even supposed to have a box spring. It's supposed to have wooden slats, but we forgot to buy them when we were at IKEA when we first got married, and instead of going to IKEA to get them, we just ended up using a box spring, and that's why my mattress is so high up on the bed. It really shouldn't be like that.
You will never regret the things that we'll do. 'Cause I wanna drive through the summer night. And when we are old and gray, we'll look back at this summer night. The summer night.
Now that we finished vacuuming pretty much everything I can reach at this point, we're going to go ahead and bring a nice hot soapy bucket in here. I'm just using some dish soap in this bucket, and I'm going to wash everything down with a rag. I really just wanted to get in here and wipe every single surface of this bed frame. You can already tell the difference in this clip here. There was like this white dusty film on every surface, even the stuff that was not flat. Like this headboard is not laying flat, but there was still a layer of dust on it. I do have to say, since doing this thorough cleaning, I have been sleeping a whole lot better. So as my husband, we have both noticed such a difference in our sleep and just breathing overall. Allergies are no joke, and we've definitely had our fair share of them this summer.
Sleeping in the back of a van, roaming in the wilderness. We don't ever need a plan. We'll be alright, just you and I. Singing from the top of our lungs, dancing by the lakeside. Gonna do it while we're young. In a moment it will all be gone. You gotta understand that we get one chance, one chance. You will never regret the things that we'll do. 'Cause I wanna drive through the summer night. And when we are old and gray.
All right, now that everything's wiped down, we are going to just get rid of these under the bed storage bins. I love bins like this. They're really nice for tight spaces when you need extra storage. We actually had these for when we didn't have a lot of storage in our old house. We had a small little closet and a tiny little bathroom, and so they came in real handy. But here we really don't use anything under our bed, but I'm just like hesitant to get rid of them because, you know, my kids might need extra storage one day. I'm not really sure. I do have to say, my dream master bedroom furniture does not have enough room for storage under it. Some of the bed frames I'm looking at does have a couple of drawers, which is good for like some extra blankets and stuff. But most of the bed frames that I see that I think are really cool just don't have enough space under the bed for these under bed storage things. So I kind of want to go through them and just kind of get rid of stuff.
Someday we will look back and our hearts will be.
Behind the bed frame was definitely a little bit dirty. It had a lot of dust built up, so we're going to quickly take care of that. I am making sure to use the crevice attachment on my vacuum because you would be surprised how much dust and like dog hair collects in that little crack between your trim and your carpet. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure to use the crevice piece absolutely everywhere. And then I'm going in with the hot soapy water and I'm just wiping all of the baseboards clean. I was trying to show you a close-up of my rag, but I didn't do a great job. I was kind of shaky. So we're going to take a new clean area of the rug and just continue to wipe this whole baseboard down. And then I'm actually going to be wiping the back of the headboard down. As you can see, there's that white film again. That's actually just dust, maybe dander. I'm not really sure, but we're going to just scrub it all down. It already looks so much better. I don't know why this was so satisfying to watch for me. We like to protect our trim as much as possible, so we actually did slide these little cardboard things in between the headboard and the trim, and it really does help. So I'm going to put these back and then push the bed back into place. Now that we finished that, I am going to take care of the box spring real quick so that I can put it back on the bed. It's taking up a lot of room in the bedroom, and I would really like to be able to kind of move around the bedroom easier. So I'm just going to go ahead and vacuum every single area, paying close attention to the very edges. Those were the areas that the most dust collected.
I want to remember all that happened to us. 'Cause I wanna drive through the summer night. And when we are old and gray, we'll look back at this summer night. The summer night, the summer night.
I was going to wait for my husband's help, but he was outside with our dog and watching the kids. The kids were playing with their neighbor friends, and I really was impatient and didn't want to wait for him, even though I probably should have. And I just decided to go ahead and do it myself. Turns out it was not as bad as I thought it would be. Next, we're going to move on to cleaning up the windows. Now that we got the most important thing done, which is got our bed situated and all cleaned and ready to go for the sheets, I'm going to move along to the windows. I haven't done this in a little while, and they were kind of covered in a little film of dust. There's not really a lot of fingerprints or like dog drool upstairs in the master bedroom. It's not like my husband and I are pressing our fingers up against the windows, but they do need to be cleaned. They were looking a little rough. I really wish blinds were not necessary. I can't stand blinds. I can't stand dusting them, cleaning them. I just don't think that they look pretty. But it's just one of those things where if we ever want to sell the house, we have to either keep them or replace them with something else, because whenever you try to sell your house, people really do like when you have your screens and blinds. It's not good to get rid of them. Now that we cleaned the back windows, I am going to go ahead and do what I did behind the bed frame. And we're just going to go ahead and vacuum that crevice where the carpet meets the trim, and then we're following the same pattern. So we're going to take the wash rag and we are going to wipe down on all of the trim. We are also going to be wiping down every single surface. Like, we're going to be wiping the sides of the nightstands, the tops. We're going to wipe the fronts and the drawer handles. I actually installed these drawer handles a long time ago back in our old house, and I really love it. It kind of made the IKEA dressers look a little bit different. I love the Malm dressers from IKEA. The drawers slide in and out so easily. They're such a good depth. They store clothing and pretty much anything really well. Out of all of the cheap dressers I've ever owned, these ones are absolutely wonderful. However, they still are very plain and simple looking, and so I installed the hardware, and it definitely kind of helped a little bit. It made it look a little bit less IKEA. Now that that's taken care of, we're actually going to take a little break and check on the laundry. Sometimes you forget to do this, and that's really bad when you're trying to wash your sheets all in one day and put them back on the bed. I know I could just use spare sheets and kind of save myself the hassle, but I just really love the smell and the feel of fresh sheets. And whenever you put spare sheets on, you just don't get that satisfaction. I almost got sidetracked from deep cleaning my master bedroom because all of that laundry that I pulled out of there, I really wanted to just fold it and get it out of the way, but I did not let myself get sidetracked. I'm determined to finish this project, so all of that laundry, like 3 loads worth of clothes, is actually just sitting in a laundry basket in my hallway waiting for me to fold. I did end up getting to it that night. I just hung out with my husband, we watched a show, and we folded some laundry, so it did get done, but I was pretty close to being sidetracked. My kids are outside playing, and my husband is out there with them, but he is starting dinner here shortly, and my entire goal was to finish this whole entire project before he called me down for dinner, and I almost finished. I ended up having some baseboards that I just didn't get to, and then I didn't make the bed by the time he called me down for dinner.
I'm looking, and I can't help but smile. Do you know how much I love you? You put my favorite song on, I put my feet up, and we just sing along, and I can't help but feeling, just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? Forever. 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 I watch you as you sleep. You don't know I'm looking. With you everything's complete. Do you know how much I love you? I put your favorite song on just to wake you up.
This little area here is actually just this little alcove that's in the hallway between our master bathroom and master bedroom. I think that this is kind of a cool design feature. When I looked at the layout of our house, this is actually supposed to be the master linen closet. It was supposed to have bifold doors on it and lots of shelving. They didn't end up doing that for whatever reason. I kind of wish they did, but because it's a little alcove, I did just decide to put our dresser here and just kind of save room. It does mean that our master bedroom is pretty empty though, so I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with the space. But since I'm cleaning the master bedroom and doing a good job, I just decided to give that dresser a good clean as well. And then we're going to move on to wiping down all of these bins that were under my bed. I'm not going to go through them today. I have gone through them before in previous videos. There's not a lot to declutter, but I was thinking that I would like to kind of move all of this stuff to a different location in my house so that I can get rid of the bins. That would just allow me to vacuum under my bed and remove dust and allergens whenever I feel like it, instead of having to roll these out all the time. In the meantime, I'm just going to wash them with hot soapy water. I have changed out my water a couple of times in case you guys were wondering. I do like to change it out just once in a while when I feel like the water is getting a little bit cold or maybe the soap is starting to disappear. And so I don't usually do that on camera though. So here I'm just going to go around and use the vacuum to just move around all of the baseboards and the edge of the carpet throughout the whole entire bedroom. I didn't show all of it because I didn't want to bore you guys, but I did decide to do that, and now I'm just going ahead and giving the entire room a vacuum. I am kind of vacuuming around the piles of stuff because I wasn't quite ready to move it back under the bed. I was also worried that I was going to be called down for dinner at any second, so I wanted to get this vacuum in case I couldn't get to anything else today. While I was vacuuming, I actually realized that I forgot to wipe down the nightstands. I started to. I wiped down like the sides of the nightstands and then pushed them back into place, but I completely forgot to actually take a rag and really thoroughly wipe everything down. So here I am. You're going to see I go through all of the dressers and every single surface gets wiped down now. I usually like to move top to bottom whenever I do these types of cleans. Sometimes I can't do that because if it's big, bulky furniture, you have to kind of clear it and get it out of your way. But typically, I like to start with dusting and then move top to bottom.
When I dance around, I can't help but feeling I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? Forever, forever, forever. I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment.
I apologize for not getting a video to you guys out for the last couple of weeks. I am really sorry for that. I do try my best to get a video out every single week, and I realize that I have failed in that a couple of times this summer, and I am really sorry. We have had family visiting all summer long from out of state. If you look at our summer calendar, there were only 8 days the entire summer that family was not in our state visiting. So that is just wild to me. We've had busy summers in the past, but nothing compared to this summer. Here I'm just showing you a look at everything we picked up, and we're going to throw this in the trash and take the trash out. That will be the end of all of my cleaning that I got done on this day. My husband did call me down for dinner, and we like to spend some family time together after dinner. So I ended up taking out the trash and then kind of cleaning up from dinner, but I didn't film that since it was kind of a family affair. To give you guys that final view of a clean bedroom, I actually did pick up filming the next time my sheets needed to be washed, and so you're going to see me in a different set of clothes, and you're going to see that I'm going to actually make our master bed and then do a final vacuum and then kind of just give you a little overview of what it's looking like. But back to what I was saying for summer, I did kind of talk about this a couple weeks ago in a video, how life is going to get a little crazy for me, and it definitely did. I had so much fun visiting with family, and it's not over yet, so it won't be over until the first week of September. It's just pretty much nonstop visiting with family. We've tried to take a few days here and there as a family to kind of just spend some quality time together, but for the most part, it's either traveling to family about an hour away or it's hosting. So it's been a little bit hectic. But if you look at our summer schedule, everything's all highlighted and it's super filled in. But there were only 8 days that family was not in town. We have family visiting from Tennessee, Wisconsin, Alaska, just lots of different family gatherings. So I'm really sorry for kind of disappearing on you guys. I really do my best not to do that. But between getting sick and my dad getting pneumonia, and then all of us got something. I'm not sure. We never got pneumonia, but throughout our whole family, it kind of got passed along. And it wasn't the worst sickness in the world, nothing like my dad, but it was at least something to kind of bring our energy down and make it a little bit difficult for me to film and get a video out. And then one of the weeks we were actually hosting, so we had some family actually staying with us on a couple of blow-up mattresses, and I'm definitely not going to film when guests are over. The day I'm doing this voiceover, my sister is actually going to come over with all of my nieces and nephews, and they're actually going to stay for a sleepover, so I'm super excited about that. We're probably going to have movies, and I'm going to chat with my sister late into the night. That's the plan, at least. It's really nice. She lives in Alaska, and we don't get to do that very often. We'll call each other and catch up over the phone, but there's nothing quite like sisters getting together and hanging out.
Just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? Forever. 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 I watch you as you drive. Do you know I'm looking?
I get so caught up in the middle, thinking of drowning in those blue eyes. I'm losing sight 'cause I am falling. I'm so deep down, and it's not a lie that I die. I can't hide what this is.
This laundry room is kind of a good representation of how chaotic my life has been lately. So I had some things I had to put away from going to Costco, and then I needed to catch up on some laundry. I also feel like the trash is kind of overflowing in every single bathroom, laundry room, everywhere pretty much. So I definitely needed to go around my house and take care of all of the trash. My laundry machine also started flipping the breaker again. If you've been around, our breaker kept getting flipped, and then we actually replaced our entire washing machine after replacing so many parts on it. And then we replaced the breaker box, and everything was good for so long. Here's some leaves I found in my son's pocket. This is why you check every single pocket if you have kids, because you never know what they end up collecting. It's so funny to me, the amount of sticks and rocks and leaves that I find, sometimes pine cones. It's not fun to clean up that mess in the washing machine if you forget to check pockets. So I really try to make sure to go through everything very well. But like I was saying, my laundry machine was having a lot of problems for like a month. We were trying to replace parts, and then it would work for a little while, and then we'd have problems again. So we bought a new washing machine, and it has been good for a long time with no issues. And then all of a sudden, it started flipping the breaker and wouldn't drain or spin. It was the same exact issues we had with our old washing machine, and it was very frustrating because, of course, it happened right after guests came over, and I had a ton of laundry to catch up on. But but I actually started this load, and this was the load that actually flipped the breaker and caused problems. And I ended up having to use an extension cord and plug our washing machine into an outlet in our master bathroom in order to get the washing machine to work. So that's currently your setup. You're going to actually see it while I'm vacuuming and cleaning the upstairs. You're going to see this extension cord I'm kind of cleaning and vacuuming around. Our washing machine has not had any issues since plugging it into a different outlet, so I'm going to assume there's something wrong with the outlets in the laundry room. My husband replaced one of the outlets with a GFCI new outlet, made sure that all the wires were okay, and then he also replaced the breaker box just in case that was bad, but we're still having problems, so we are going to have to hire an electrician. So for now, you're just going to see an extension cord.
Yeah, I keep drowning in those blue eyes, and you can tell me all of your lies. I will put out all of the fire if it gets too dark. I'll be your light. Be your light. I'll be your light if it gets too dark.
Since my laundry room is officially clean for the first time in a long time, I'm going to take this opportunity to wipe everything down with a rag and some hot soapy water, the windowsills, and I'm actually going to also wipe down the baseboards real quick because since I'm in here and I have the rag, why not?
I'll be your light. Be your light. I'll be your light. If it gets too dark, yeah, I can carry all that you've got. Two heavy hearts is not a lot. I will put out a
I went to Costco and a couple days ago and I put away almost everything, but I did just carry some things upstairs that I didn't have the energy to put away and just kind of threw them in the hallway. And so I'm finally taking care of that now. Now that this is taken care of, I am just going to move to their playroom. Normally, I would call the kids to come clean up their playroom, but they are outside with their neighbors once again. They were picking blackberries with neighbors in everyone's yard, and then some of the neighbors were making a blackberry milkshake, and so I just think that's so fun. That's one of my favorite parts about living in a neighborhood is seeing all of the neighbor kids get together and come up with new ways to hang out. So sometimes it's chalk art, sometimes it's riding bikes and scooters, and sometimes it's making a blackberry milkshake. But instead of calling them in to clean up the playroom, I just decided to tackle it. It really doesn't take that long. Everything does have a home, and I know where everything goes. It may look like a big mess, but it was one bin of toys that was kind of spread throughout this whole entire playroom, and then just a couple of little miscellaneous items. I did get another blue bench. We've had one, but I did get a second one for in this room. And I put everything I don't want other kids playing with in there. Like if we have neighbors over or young kids, all of the things with small little pieces are in those benches. So then my only rule for when kids come over is they can't open the blue benches. They can only play with toys. That way I don't have like board game pieces and puzzle pieces thrown around my house. I really like having them in here. It's been great so far, and the kids really like having these types of things in their playroom as well. And then I did get a fun little bookshelf. It spins in the corner. I was trying to make their playroom a little bit more like a library. I've noticed that they have a really hard time putting their books on their shelf in their bedroom. They keep falling off, and they end up just kind of piling them on the floor because it's too difficult to put them away. So I ordered this. I was actually very heavily influenced. I try my best not to be influenced and not fall for like ads, but I did get influenced to buy this. I am not going to link it for you guys because I would never purchase this again. It works. It gets the job done. The kids love it, but I just don't believe that it's high enough quality for anyone else to purchase. I'm making the best of it though, and my kids really do love it. So now that the room's clean, I'm going to go ahead and vacuum. As you can see, that extension cord is over here. And then I also have some trash I need to carry downstairs. But I'm going to just kind of lift this up and just do my best to vacuum around the cord because the washing machine's actually running right now and it's plugged in.
the fire, we stumble and fall. tell me all of your lies, I will put out all of the fire. If it gets too dark, I'll be your light. Be your light.
Normally, I don't have to vacuum in the spare bedroom very often because it's not really a room that gets used. My kids' fort is in here. Whenever we have a ton of cardboard, I let them make a fort. But because we had guests over, we actually did have a blow-up mattress in here, and this is where they stayed. So I did decide to give it a quick clean. I'm going to show you a little clip of what their fort's looking like. I showed a clip before. They used to have this giant tunnel, and now it's kind of simplified. Now it's just one large fort, and they still love it. Since I'm up here, I'm just going to go ahead and wipe down the rest of the baseboards in this area. I have done the kids' playroom, our bedroom, and then the laundry room, and I have done the boys' bedroom recently, so I just always neglect this little hallway area. Sometimes I'll deep clean a room, but the hallway just kind of gets missed. That's the last thing I'm going to do in today's video, and I hope you enjoyed this and got motivation. Thank you for being here.